Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be working on our fall leaf window cleans, and these remind me of the Christmas ornaments or glass. They look glass to me, the vintage ones that we used to have at Christmas time. So we're going to show you how to make these today. And I am working on a glass piece, and you don't have to go and buy a special glass. Go to your dollar store and buy a frame that has a piece of glass in it, or the thrift store or anything like that. Mine just happens to be round instead of square. The only thing you need to make sure is that you don't have any sharp edges to cut yourself. Just be real concerned about that. I'm going to take leaves. You can take real leaves, you can take any of the plastic leaves or silk leaves, and I'm going to put them under my glass, and all we're doing is using those as a pattern. So we're going to set them right there, and the next thing we're going to do is cover our glass piece with dish soap, and that is so we can get our piece off when it is dry. And last year when I did the snowflake one and everything, I used oil, and the oil slid a little bit more, and I didn't think about dish soap. So if you're doing anything with the glue gun, like the snowflakes or anything like that, think about using the dish soap. But remember, you can use fall leaves, real ones, houseplant leaves, anything. So we want this to dry, and I'm going to hurry it up just a little bit here. That'll continue while I'm working. And I'm going to be using my glue gun, and I'm going to be using it on high temp. And we're going to come in here, and we're just going to kind of follow our outline of our leaves. And there is no right or wrong to this, so don't worry about it. Glue gun seems to be having a tougher time coming out. I've used it so much today. There we go. So we're just going to follow this outline. Okay, and then I'm going to come inside and I'm going to fill it in. You want to make sure you don't have any holes in it. And you can kind of tell when you have a hole. I have a hole right there in the middle. So we're going to get that guy out. And I do have another hole right there. And I'm going to go ahead and do another one. Usually you work on one at a time, because I'm going to stay on the same piece of glass too. I'm going to go ahead and do this. They can be bigger, they don't have to be smaller or anything like that. Okay, at this point in time, I would take my hobby knife and I would cut all of these little spider webs off. If you need to cut anything, you can remove all of those. If there's any areas that you need to trim, go ahead and trim those. And I have a hole in this one over here. Now, if you notice that they're a little bit your outside part has cooled more than the inside part, and we want it to be all even and all kind of running together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our embossing tool, and you do need it because it's hotter, and we're going to apply it, and we're going to even it all out, get it all the same temperature. And you can tell because the line where the outside is cooled and the middle part will dissolve. And then it'll be all one temperature, so this part won't be cooler than that other side. Now the little one didn't do that too much. He's pretty much the same size. So while this is cooling a little bit, I think I have a part I missed right there. While this is cooling a little bit, you don't want it so tacky that if you touch it with anything, let's see if I can give you an example, that it's going to have a string on it. So you want it just warm. And then we're going to use our embossing powders. And most of your embossing powders come in a pack, and you can pick them up in the scrapbooking section at your craft store. You want the shiny kind. You don't want the kind that is more coarse. And see how this isn't shiny? This you have to heat to transfer over, and we don't want that kind for what we're working with. We want the real fine kind. And another place that carries that is bluewhale.com, as well as Giraffe Laugh. If you cannot find what you're looking for, Blue Whale is online, bluewhaleart.com. It's a great place to find supplies, art supplies. And I'm just opening these all up, and I'm going to use my old brushes. I like to use them, and I just picked fall colors. I picked out, you know, different colors that you see in the fall, and we're just going to start applying that. And that is fine because you still want it warm enough, and we're going to pounce it off in the lid because you're going to be surprised how much you pick up. Now if your brush starts to stick to that, and it's stuck just a little bit, you may need to let that cool just a little bit more. See if this guy is a little bit cooler or not. That guy is a little bit cooler. And it doesn't take much of this at all. And don't forget to do your sides, not just the top. And I just really like the look of this. And I'm also going to put some gold highlights in it as well. And you can play with it, go back and forth. Remember though, it's going to start cooling down. So we want to make sure that we get it on before it's too cool though. I'm going to try some of this color here. I'm not sure where his lid went to. There it is. Oh, I really like that color. Kind of a copper looking color. Try a little bit of this color. So remember all the different colors that are in these. And I'm going to put some gold in the very center. Yellow would be really pretty in here as well. And I'm going to come back in just to knock that gold down and blend it in with the other colors just a tad. I did a pumpkin like this as well, so there's all kinds of cool fall things that you can do with this, so don't get just stuck on doing my idea. But see now how we're getting the puffiness? I could have used a little bit more glue right here and heated it out just a little bit more. But that to show you kind of how you want that to look. But see the puffy that's really getting. Another thing I really like to do is I like to add glitter to mine, just to give it that extra sparkle. Not much, and you just want to have your glue dry enough that you can touch it, and I just barely come in here with my glue and put a little bit on, just enough that I can apply just a little bit of glitter. I'm also going to do a little one on Christmas ornaments too, but see how much that glitter really helps set these off. Now all I'm going to simply do is take these over and put these on my window, and I have had these on my window since I made them, and I haven't had any problems with them sticking. Now I am going to tell you one thing: if you give them as a gift to a friend or anything, and they've cooled down and everything, if you give them to a friend, tell them to heat them back up just a little bit. You don't want to heat them on the other side because you've got all that stuff going on the other side. So we're going to heat this back up. And you don't want to melt it so much as just kind of warm that wax back up. And then once you've done that, they can put it right back on their window, and then it's going to stick again. And because we've used our dish soap, those are going to come off easier. And like I said, try to take them over to your window while they're still warm and just put them right on your window seal or your window frame like that. So this is our wonderful fall kind of glass vintage leaves, window cling leaves. We'll see if we've got a couple more here for you. I did some in the green as well. Turning, we need to do some orange and yellow in as well with that. But that should be a real fun project to play with, and cost effective. You're not using much material at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Come on over and we'll show you the Christmas ones as well and check those out. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions at all, please email me at art@miriamjoy.com. We also have a Facebook page where I put up videos that are coming out as well as things I am working on. So have a blessed Thanksgiving.